All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, episode
13. Oh my god, the finale.
The very last episode.
The very last episode.
Yep.
Jeez, I am very sad that we are here and we're going to say goodbye to this wholesome show.
Yep.
And there probably won't be a season 2 anytime
Unfortunately,
soon,
probably not.
Yeah. So this is a show that has kind of redefined in my mind, I would say makes for kind of a classic slice of life family show. I would say that there have been a couple that have kind of had elements of it, but this one is so dedicated and focused to it,
right?
That it's really done a lot for me in this genre of slice of life.
I'm glad because when I watched this show originally, I wasn't sure if it was the kind of show that you would like because it's so mellow. Like, it's really good, but very little happens throughout the show, right? From the day-to-day stuff. So, is that something that would be your thing?
Right, but I'm surprised actually how much happens given that it's a slice of life.
I know,
I would say if anything, this one is probably not even the best example of a classic slice of life because of all the fantasy elements, because of how many kind of random little characters there are, and how much the skits have a comedy focus as well. I'm not sure if all slice of lives in general are necessarily comedies, it's kind of one of those Venn diagram things where you have slice of lives and comedies have a lot of crossover, but slice of life does not necessarily equate to a comedy. It's just one of the easier storytelling devices to use in a slice of life because the conflict drama is lessened.
Right. And even among slice of life, this is a standout. This is incredibly well put together. Like that. All the little things and details and stuff that are in here are put in there with heart and love and with the strategy behind them. So,
we are definitely getting teased that Toru's family, either father or just parents in general, one of them is on their way.
Yeah, so that definitely wasn't a law dragon or an order dragon.
A harmony dragon.
Yeah, harmony dragon. I don't think so.
So I'm just curious if we'll have like an Avengers Assemble moment where everyone just kind of stands behind Toru and Kobayashi being we ship them and you can just deal with it. Or if this is going to be a thing where Toru stands behind Kobayashi as Kobayashi talks down an elder dragon. Or it is just going to be a thing where they'll just energy blast at each other and they'll actually have a crazy fight. Either way,
all of those sound awesome.
All of those sound amazing. Exactly. So we are really, you've seen this, but I'm really excited to get into this episode. Stick around to the end, y'all, so you find out what show is replacing this. We had a very unique poll set up from things on Patreon. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right. Oh, big boy. Yep. So cute. Oh, I'm gonna miss this OP.
Yeah.
I can just watch it on my own time whenever, but
definitely.
I'm still gonna miss it.
Now, OP versus ED, which one?
I have no idea. Probably the OP, but I'm kind of a sucker for OPs in general. Yeah. Also, this one has those really specific bits of Sakuga that are like they're just ridiculously good. So it's the combination always of the song and the visuals.
Yeah, the parts with
Toru jumping
Kobayashi.
to
that's
hug Kobayashi. Yeah, that's the show.
It's hard to beat that.
Yep. Oh. Oh, the essence of being someone that serves another, and cuts to Toru just yeah. Oh, and she's very sure to make sure that keeps it in the middle with the grinds and everything there. She knows what she's doing for sure. Oh boy, everyone's splitting up. Uh-oh. Don't you dare touch the shopping district or Kobayashi's place. Whoa. Dang. Comparing, yeah, different species. Whoa. Nope, this is the influence of some elder dragon magic. Whoa. Shine. Whoa. Alright, mental battle, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, they all felt that. Uh-huh. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yep. And just like that, they're gone. Yep. The Emperor of Demise. Yep. Whoa, having Kana deliver the sad message, yeah. Oh. It's like she just snapped. Oh, I never realized that.
She wasn't there to blow the fire on the...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh. Now she's having to do all the things that she would get woken up by. And she hasn't practiced that for a while. That's hot. It's hot. Yep. Saw that coming. You have to hold it by the handle. Yep. You can tell. Yeah. Oh, Kairi. Oh. Yeah, take out. Yep. Oh. That's sweet. The way they're using the flower that, you know, Toru was kind of the everything that held it all together, and then... Yep. Yeah. Yes.
Kana is
the blob can consume all. Yeah. And this sucks because they set up that only Toru was the one capable of using interdimensional portal magic, so they can't even go after her. Or is that not right? Is it that Kana just can't use it? Oh wait, no, she could use it.
No, Elma can't, I don't think.
Okay. So maybe Fafnir can?
Yeah, Elma can't. Maybe Fafnir can.
Oh, she's sad.
Yeah.
Oh. Put more water in that. Oh, and then it just starts to pile up slowly but surely. Yep. Life was not meant to be lived alone. Oh. Oh, that's what you're thinking about? Oh, crap. Okay, she got away. Is it on, like, temporary leave?
The way Kobayashi's, like, runs through the door.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what's the deal? What happened? Oh, Kobayashi. Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was... Yeah.
なぜ勝手に戻った。やはりここにいたいのです。
Then why are you here, bastard? Breaking your own rule. But she's not. Okay.
What happens to Toro after Kobayashi dies? Like,
well, if they end up adopting lovely children, then she can be the maid for their children, you know? Okay, that's her decision. Oh, you did not! You did not! You did not. That is raw fear right there. But it's your time, Kobayashi. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
あなたはこの世界に干渉できないんだ。
秩序を守るべき立場のドラゴンがこの世界にいることが分かれば、影響されて他のものもやってきてしまう。今でこそ平気だが、そのうち侵略を企む者も出る。そうしたらどうする？
Yeah.
それをトールのせいだと。
なぜそこまでトールにこだわる？
now he's changing his argument here.
軽くて楽しくて、時々影があるけど。
Oh.
隠すように笑って私のメイドを持っていくな。これは私だ。
Yeah.
調子に。
Yeah.
そうか。
Time to fight. Where are the Avengers? Let's go. Assemble. Assemble, dragons. Let's go. Okay, they're coming in at the final act. We have to do this. Oh, you think this is a first? Or do you think this story started? Yeah, he's huge. Yeah. Yep, energy blast, let's go. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Yep.
Everyone, get in this. Okay. Wow, this animation.
Yeah, I know, right? Who says Kyoani can't do action?
I might accidentally, sear off an arm. Okay, yeah. You're sober, but you're gonna smack them around. Let's go! No, I'm not understanding you. I'm understanding the extremities at which you take with your family.
Yeah.
Right! Oh! Alright.
そんなことはとっくにできてる。ずっと続いていくと信じられるかどうかだ。私は信じた。娘を信じてみせろよ。
He's like, whoa, wait. Oh, that part from the OP! Yes! Oh, of course. Oh, no, thank you. Yeah. Oh, Kana's gonna cry. It's so beautiful. Oh.
久しぶりに実家に帰ろうかと思うんだ。いいですね。
I want you to come with me.
トールも。
Yes! 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 You meet my parents and everything. Oh.
Isn't that
look at this precious family of 3. This is
yeah.
小林さんと一緒に老いていくことはできない。それでも私は小林さんに会わなかった方が良かった。
Yep, that's right.
Right?
絶対に思わない。
And that's the show. Yeah. That's a way to end it. I'm home.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh. That was wonderful.
Wasn't it?
That was so good. Oh. And that makes me so sad there's no season 2.
I know,
like,
right?
Extra sad, because you can totally tell they had a season 2 planned.
Yep. All right.
Okay, that was a beautiful, beautifully wholesome episode. And a good way to end a season 1 that also might be, you know, for all intensive purposes, the series finale.
Yep.
So, okay, so this was the episode about what does it mean to give everything?
Right.
And the father brings up a very valid point. There is a lot of pain associated when you are forced to leave someone behind.
Right.
Whether it be because you're an immortal dragon and they're a mortal human, or because you have a life that moves you to a faraway location, and while you try to maintain the relationship over long distance, it's not the same anymore.
Sure.
Or let's say, you know, you're both, you know, roommates or what have you, and then one of you ends up finding your soulmate, and then they you know, end up moving, you know, maybe like 10 miles away. But, you know, now they've got someone else that they're devoting way more time, love, and attention to, so it changes the dynamic of the relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that's so fantastical as this. When you're in that relationship, you have, you know, the desire, especially if there's love involved, you know, like true, like actual, like, you want to give your everything, but you don't need to give everything. You don't need to think so beyond the present. And in some ways, that's why I think the beauty of the slice of life genre is that it's just almost enjoying the present, taking in these individual moments as they are, and treasuring them for what they are. If it's just a little flower, you know, from your school friend who has a major crush on you, you know, just, take it. Enjoy it. You don't have to think about the grand ramifications of it's all that stuff. Just...
there's something like found family.
Yes, you love it so much. It's so good. I love
it so much.
I do too. Yeah.
Anytime a story goes into found family and the whole idea of what it means to have a home and things like that, like ending it with the phrase "I'm home," like, and I'm not just talking about with the case of Toru of going back home to Kobayashi, but also Kobayashi going back home to her parents, because we don't know exactly what the situation was, but to some extent they you know, the relationship wasn't doing too great, right? You know? And the idea that as a result of, you know, Kobayashi meeting this wild, rambunctious chaos factor, right? Of a person, and having this great relationship with her and everything, and all the ways that they help each other grow.
She took the initiative to mend that relationship by going home.
Right, to mend that other relationship, right? And I think that's because the whole thing with Kobayashi and Toru, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. Right? But what really makes it so incredible is not the effect that it has within the context of the two of them, or even with Kana, but how it ripples out to their lives in general, right, with other people.
There were a lot of things that they were trying to explore at here by saying, you realize how much influence Toru had, right? Viewer, you realize it? Because let's take Toru away for a little bit. Even though we're going to bring her right back in the story, we want you to feel the lack of Toru and what that means in the simplest things, like how Toru prepares the coffee grinds in a very meticulous, specific way. All the little things like helping wake them up on time. Preparing, you know, their meals in the beginning of the day so that they even wake up on time in a natural way. They can smell the coffee, or they can, you know,
Well, and also take someone like, say, Fafnir. Now, Fafnir, I love him, right? He's hilarious. but if you think about where he was at the start, he wasn't in a very happy place.
No.
Right? Not really. You know, like it was a very lonely, cold kind of place, and he had his treasure, but that was it.
Right.
And now as a result of freaking Takia, it's, oh, hey, you're gonna be home by 8? Okay, cool. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. See you then.
Yeah. See you then.
Like
the idea he traded caves for sure. He's still in his cave.
Oh yeah.
He's not a completely different person.
Right.
But he has decided to cohabit this cave with someone who he sees as an equal.
And that's one of the things that I think was so important, not just from the standpoint of the immediate conflict, about Toru versus her father, and then Kobayashi stepping in the middle and saying what she said. Right. Because one, it shows a growth probably for her that maybe she didn't have with maybe her own parents or something. Right. But also it goes to show that it's not about the idea of will you stay in the human world or will you stay in the the fantastical world.
Exactly.
Right? It's about the idea of these people are different, and it's not changing them, but coming to understand them, and then that helps them be their best self. Right? Even if Fafnir is still holing up in his room, in his cave, right? He's better for it, right?
Oh, he's way better for it.
He's found the people where it's like, okay,
because it's not just Takia,
right?
Those people that he grinds on the MMO with, they're like they're his people too. They're his family as well. Like I loved in some ways how the whole show is basically about dragons each finding their own individual families and stuff, and then humans have the capacity to connect with beings and individuals because of our empathy in ways that could go all across the board and spectrum. So you have even the awkward one of Lukoa and Shota. It's the same kind of thing. It's just more played for gags. You have Elma in some ways trying to find ways to basically be okay with the chaos around her and just finding little moments of like wholesomeness in the midst of that.
Right. When
not needing to just have everything in a specific order and needing to choose the right decision every time.
Yeah, just, hey, we've got a new one. You want to try it out? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just let something random happen. Yeah. And then we have Kana and Saikawa, which is basically Kana letting someone else. I mean, Kana's a rather simple character as far as just desires and stuff.
Definitely.
But the just the act of letting Saikawa be close to her, and having time set aside for that, and then actively building that relationship by constantly going out and
playing with her and all that stuff, and
because she needs it too.
She was kicked out. That whole part. That whole part where Kana just sort of like doesn't say anything, but
and just nuzzles into her
against her
because she misses Toru.
Yeah, it's like oh my heart,
Yeah, I think this is all about people needing people, and that's the nature of connection. Is that when we're in a healthy enough place, we can be vulnerable. We can be vulnerable and tell other people that we need them.
Right,
and we don't need necessarily to throw ourselves entirely and say, "I give you my everything," so that we can be together.
Right.
Which is, I would say, a romantic kind of thing to say.
Yeah, it's definitely a powerful statement, but
you don't. Not, yeah, exactly. Right. Like Kobayashi said, you don't need to give me everything.
Right.
Like that's not necessary in order to have a good connection.
I don't need your tail meat.
Right. I don't need your tail meat. Exactly.
Yep.
We can have a loving, wonderful connection, and have it be about those little things that we each kind of pass back and forth to each other.
Yep.
And it's something really special, too, in that this show is very clearly a slice of life comedy. Like, it very clearly nestles those two together.
Yep.
And yet it has moments which are, I would say, by and by, a bit romantic. Like, a bit, going into the romance kind of side of things there. But because, in a lot of ways, this is a story about connection and family, we don't need to make this about also some other thing, which I think romances kind of tend to lie into the trap of, going into these transactional deals about stating things like "I love you" or "eating my tail meat" or making it be about some specific exchange
Right.
And then once that's happened, then we label it a specific way.
Yeah.
No, they just love each other. It's family.
Because
it's wonderful.
Because while this has romance elements, it is not. It doesn't usually have romance drama elements. Right. So it's not about do they like me or anything like that. Like they brought that up for a little bit in one of the episodes where Toru was trying to get Kobayashi's attention, shall we say?
Right.
And then Kobayashi opened up about that and was like, I'm not used to being wanted like this. So but take a hint, pat. You know?
And in some ways, this show was planning to have a second season, so you could definitely tell that there would have been more developments in the relationship between Toru,
meeting the
Kobayashi,
family,
meeting the family, all this kind of stuff there. So that's something that we can kind of imagine about, or maybe just wait patiently for 7 years until we get like a second season or something. That's probably about how long it would take, to be honest. But given that this show focused at the very end with having the kind of the next, or in some ways it because it's the season where that's all we have right now, the final dragon from the other world kind of coming in and needing to have seen, experienced, and been communicated about the relationship between Toru and Kobayashi, because that kind of was the thing that instigated a lot of the changes in the other dragons. Was kind of them seeing this possibility
that it could work. Yeah. Kana shows up and is like, the hell, Toru, what happened? Right. Vixen, like,
yes.
Temptress. Yeah.
And it didn't work initially. I loved that they showed also Kobayashi afraid, because one of the things that's really scary, I would say, specifically when you're interacting with another family, is for the most part there's sometimes that kind of subtle, kind of passive acknowledgement of, this is our family, you can say whatever you'd like, but you don't have any influence here.
Right.
And that's kind of something that Kobayashi brought up, like, I'm going to just respect her decision, but this is another family, I shouldn't do anything here.
I don't want to butt in,
Then she sees that not only has Toru made the decision, and she's made it, like, the way she's saying it, she can tell, this is something where this decision is not being respected by you.
Right.
So I'm going to step in. And then he does the casual flick thing of like a god, basically being like, do you want me to smite you?
Yep.
Shut up. And it's this moment where Kobayashi realizes, oh crap, this must have been what it was like when I was drunk, but because I was drunk in the first episode, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So this is character development, y'all. This is her basically realizing, oh, shoot, I don't have anything other than my words and my love for Toru that I can bring to the table here. Yeah. And if I misspeak, I'm dead.
Right.
So she ends up speaking on behalf of Toru, but in some ways not really behalf of Toru, as someone that is connected to Toru. And maybe even in some ways, if we can assume the slightest bit of empathy with regards to the father, because he did say that she's a wonderful daughter.
Right.
So he is not wholly evil, but he is definitely amoral. He does not really care for her will decisions as much, because he sees things as a, you're just, this is a violation of what it means to be dragons.
It's the helicopter parent kind of a thing, where it's like, no,
I know what's best for you.
I know what's best for you.
You know, exactly.
And he did, and he pointed out very legitimate concerns. You know, he's like, she's going to die eventually. Are you going to be okay after that? I don't know if you will.
Right.
You know.
So he needed to be convinced to respect her decision and to believe that she's already thought about this.
Exactly. And that's that. And that final line for Kobayashi with that of, have a little faith in your daughter. It's like, oh man, like,
right. In some ways, I have to imagine all of this as being just literally an exchange between humans, because it makes the whole thing, I would say, a lot more sensible. Is that try to assume that we can understand the perception of time with regards to an immortal dragon, which is something that they brought up with the television thing, where the mouse could not understand the concept of the time perception of a human just as much as the human, just as much as the human couldn't for the mouse.
Yep.
So, with that said, if you see him as basically the potentially abusive helicopter dad parent who kind of is manipulating the daughter to go things a certain way, because he did just kind of grab her and just run off.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of the dad, who's this powerful politician in another world or what have you, who has another country, who's like, I have very specific plans for you, my daughter, comes by with like a team of like bodyguards, and they just literally grab her physically and force her. You're coming home. Like, she then goes and flies all the way back here without, him agreeing to that. He then chases her all the way back here and is like, no, you're coming back. Right. Well,
Is this, are you having your rebellious streak now? Like, you're rebelling against me. Okay, are we doing this? Like, yeah. And because the whole idea of the dragons, right? It totally works within the context of the dragons. Right. And that gives some very fun and helpful indirection from the situation at hand, because that kind of situation in the real world can get really heavy, right?
Yeah, and it also looks really cool.
Yes, and it looks really cool. Right. Like let's be real, right?
Who doesn't love dragons?
Who doesn't love dragons?
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think about is like, what are dragons? Yes, powerful, right? Also, very hard to hurt.
Oh,
so one of the things that's been shown in this show is the power of vulnerability.
Yes.
Right? And dragons are the ones that are invulnerable.
Invulnerable, right?
Yes. And from that sense, it makes a heck of a lot of sense of what the dad's saying is, why are you making yourself vulnerable?
Whoa.
Our entire existence is based around the fact that we must never let anyone hurt us because
we're at war.
We're at war. That's what the humans do, right? So translate war and translate dragonhide to baggage and barriers. Like emotional defenses and things like that, and all of that stuff. And it's the, it's coming from a place of wanting the best for his daughter, but it's not letting her live her life because he's, scared for her, right?
Yeah, but he would never admit that.
Oh, but he'd never admit that because
that'd be a vulnerability.
He's proud, and that'd be a vulnerability, right? So then, Toru, says her piece, right? And then Kobayashi comes up and
isn't this a bit extreme? Why are you guys fighting? Yeah. Aren't you just scared that she's choosing something that you don't like? Baka, it's not like I am an immortal god dragon. You cannot assume that I would be afraid of anything.
Right. But not only that, Kobayashi specifically gives Toru's dad the out of saying, you don't have to be vulnerable.
Right.
Because have a little faith in your daughter. Your daughter's invulnerable.
Right.
Why are you worried, right? You got nothing to worry about. I can't hurt her. She's fine, right? I loved that. Everything that you've taught her will serve her well, and she will do just fine. Right?
I loved that moment where Toru suddenly realized that she was in the middle of an encouragement sandwich, and she was all like getting affirmed and stuff. Even her father gave her that yes, she's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's incredible or something. And she was just like, wait, what? Like, what happened here all of a sudden? And she's like, is this over? Did it work? No, it didn't work. But it was just a moment of him finally agreeing with, Kobayashi.
And I love that because it's Kobayashi practicing what she's preaching, where she's basically saying, hey, you need to find compromise. You need to understand the other person and everything like that. And then you might find some aspect of them that you can even respect, right? So she uses that of, I'm going to, you don't want to be vulnerable? Right. You don't want Toru to be vulnerable? I'll tell you, she's not. Like she's speaking his language, and that's what ends up cutting through to him, and I love it.
Yeah, it was really cool. We end up also getting a good animated fight for a little bit there, which is awesome. I am slightly bummed we didn't get a Dragons Avengers Assemble moment.
That would have been awesome.
But now that I think about it, one of the things that makes this more powerful on an emotional level is that Fafnir, Lukoa, and Elma are not family to Toru. They are her friends.
Yes.
And there is a separation and difference between friends and family.
Yeah.
Friends are the kinds of people who are like, we've got your back.
Right.
But family are the kind of people that is like,
your battles are my battles.
I will die for you.
Yeah.
I will take a bullet for you. And that's literally what Kobayashi did, basically. Was just like, no, I'm going to step in front here for a little bit.
Yep.
Actually, she does it twice.
Despite her fear.
Yeah. And I just love the moment where Toru's like just leaps into her arms.
You're taking the bit from the OP.
My favorite part. Just so freaking good. Oh man.
Yeah,
this was a good finale.
Yep, good finale to an amazing show. And this now like I feel like it was apparent before this. But now that we got the confrontation with a parent, it has become even more apparent that Kobayashi is best girl. Like Kobayashi, I love her so much. Because the dragons and everything, yes. But the thing is, I could totally see some other like anime studio or whatever. Like this is a thing that happens in the West a lot, right? Where there's one idea that gets really popular and really commercially successful,
and they rip off the wrong thing.
You rip off the wrong thing. You rip off the dragons as opposed to the family, right? Because the family is what makes it important.
Yep.
And the family doesn't exist without Kobayashi, right?
We have that with monster films here in the U.S. There are so many monster films that just get into that whole thing about it without, just to have a CGI, just craziness and stuff.
Right, without remembering what was the heart and soul of the work in the first place.
Which is basically what I could see happening here for Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, is that someone else does something very similar, but it's like, no, you missed the Kobayashi anchor in the middle that keeps it all working rather well.
And this is why I love KyoAni as a studio. Because I feel like they understand these kinds of things. It's like, because a lot of times, you might have people say that it's like, oh, KyoAni, they just do sort of like the fluffy, cute, cutesy stuff.
But a lot of it's original.
Oh yeah, a lot of it's original.
Yeah,
but also it's not done without insight into why it's being done.
Oh,
right,
sure.
and that is stuck to very well. And I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, definitely. But wow, I am bummed we're not getting a second season.
I know, right?
Yeah, I feel like this is a show that once someone has gotten their spread of anime kind of experience, where they've watched like 20 anime, they have to watch this.
Isn't it just great?
Because I don't think it's a show where most kind of mainstream people who don't watch anime could just pick it up and really enjoy it. I think a lot of people would like it, but I think
the dragon part certainly helps with that.
The dragon part certainly helps with that, and the comedy, I would say, even more so. But the kind of show that this is one that I would want everyone to see. Like it's that good. So yeah. Oh, but there we go. Over. That one's over, and a new show begins. Y'all, we did a poll, and it was very different.
Yes.
We have a show that was very hotly requested that we pick back up, but because it wasn't a usual way that we kind of started the show to begin with, we are now watching season 2 of a show in direct continuation after this one here, and that will be Kaguya Love is War Season 2, starting directly after this show. And the poll also set up the thing that will be following that show, which is Grand Blue.
Yep, because let's face it, Kaguya Season 2, on a poll, it's kind of...
going to win.
It's going to win. Let's be real here.
So
that's what's happening.
Yeah, so those two shows will be following in that sequence. Kaguya Love is War Season 2, and then Grand Blue.
Yep.
So... if you want to see the first episode's reaction to Kobayashi, no, it's another K show.
Yeah,
Kaguya Love is War, Season 2, Episode 1. Check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yep, I did a thing. It's a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. It also focuses on family, and it's available for purchase on Amazon. Link in the description.
Now, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.